Pain is the one thing most people run from. We've been taught to fear it, to avoid it, to do everything in our power to stay away from it. You see it everywhere. People numbing themselves with comfort, with distractions, with any escape that will make them feel just a little less of that sting. The world is soft. We're told to chase happiness, to avoid discomfort, and if you're in pain, something must be wrong. But that's a goddamn lie. What if I told you that pain is your power? What if I told you that all that agony, all that suffering, all those moments that feel like they're gonna break you are the moments that make you unstoppable? Pain is the greatest teacher. It shows you what you're made of. It forces you to confront every weakness, every flaw, every lie you've been telling yourself. When you're suffering, there's no place to hide. You're exposed, raw, and face to face with your limits. But that's the beauty of it. Because when you feel like you got nothing left, that's where the real magic happens. That's where you find out who the fuck you really are. Most people never get there. Most people hit pain and they back down, they fold, they quit, they take the easy road. And that's why most people live mediocre lives. That's why they never accomplish shit. Because they're too afraid to embrace the one thing that can make them stronger than they ever imagined. Think about it. The hardest times in your life, the moments that brought you to your knees, the heartbreaks, the failures, the times you thought you couldn't go on, those are the moments that built you. Those are the moments that gave you a chance to choose. Do I give up or do I rise? Every time you chose to rise, every time you chose to get back up, you grew. You became more. That's power. Your pain is your power. It's your edge. It's what separates you from everyone else. Because when you're willing to embrace pain, when you're willing to suffer, you become dangerous. You become a force that cannot be stopped. Most people, they're afraid of discomfort. They'll do anything to avoid it. But when you understand that pain is what's going to make you great, you stop running from it. You start chasing it. You start seeking it. Because you know that every ounce of suffering is sharpening you, making you harder, making you better. When I was training for the Navy SEALs, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the fastest, and I definitely wasn't the most talented. But I knew one thing. I could suffer more than anybody. I could embrace the suck. I could endure pain like no one else. When everyone else was breaking, when everyone else was tapping out, I knew I still had more in the tank. Because I made friends with pain. I learned to love it. Let's get real. Society doesn't like to tell you this because pain isn't marketable. Struggle isn't easy to sell. So we are spoon-fed the idea that we should be chasing happiness, buying shit we don't need, scrolling on social media, numbing ourselves to the reality that life is hard. But the truth is, the more you embrace the suck, the stronger you become. And it's a mental thing. You want to know why some people survive life-threatening situations and others crumble? It's not because they're physically stronger. It's because they've built a mental fortress. They didn't just show up in hard times and hope to survive. They were ready. They had been suffering, building calluses on their mind, going through pain over and over again, so that when the real test came, they were unbreakable. You got to understand, when you put yourself through hell by choice, you get to know who the fuck you are. Most people never do this. They never go through true discomfort. They're afraid of what they'll find if they push themselves to the limit. They settle. But you got to be willing to dive into the deep end, find out what's there. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your goddamn best friend if you want to be more. If you want to grow. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. You think you're tired now? You think you've had enough? Let me tell you something. You don't even know what tired is. You don't even know what your limits are. Your mind is lying to you, trying to protect you, trying to keep you in that safe, easy space. But that's not where greatness is born. Greatness is born in that place where you feel broken, in that moment when you think you've got nothing left. That's when you find out who you really are. One foot after the other, one breath after another. Keep going. You feel that pain? Good. That pain is your growth. That pain is your body, your mind, your spirit transforming. Do not back down. Do not quit. Your mind will scream, your body will ache, but your soul, man, your soul is craving this test. Your soul wants to see if you've got what it takes. You got to prove it, not to anyone else, but to yourself. Dig deep. When you think you've hit the wall, when you think there's no way forward, push harder. Find that second wind, it's there. But you got to dig through the shit to find it. You got to be willing to suffer, to bleed, to sacrifice comfort. That's where the transformation happens. That's where you become unbreakable. You can't wait for motivation. Motivation is bullshit. It comes and goes like the damn wind. What you need is discipline. Discipline doesn't give a damn about how you feel. Discipline says, I'm tired, I hurt, I'm broken, but I'm still going to show up and put in the work every day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. You're going to hear that voice inside telling you to slow down, to rest, to quit. Fuck that voice. Silence it. Shut it down. You've got more in you. You've got way more than you think. You just got to go one more mile, one more rep, one more goddamn day. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. You don't need to be the strongest. You just need to keep going. Because most people quit. Most people give in. But you're not most people. You're a savage. You're a warrior. You're not here to be average. Suffering is the birthplace of greatness. We live in a world that feeds us this bullshit lie day after day that happiness is the pinnacle of life. A damn constant advertisement to be comfortable. To have this dream life where everything is soft, easy, and laid back. But let me tell you something. That dream will fuck you up. Comfort is a trap. Happiness, it's fleeting. It's temporary. It's that sugar high. It makes you feel good for a second, and then, boom, it's gone. And there you are, craving more, chasing the next happy moment. You can't grow in that space. You can't become a monster in the best way possible if you're addicted to always feeling comfortable. What no one wants to hear is this: you need pain. You need to suffer. Look at Muhammad Ali. You think he wanted to wake up every day and get his ass out of bed at 4 a.m. to train? Hell no. He hated training. He hated every damn minute of it. But he said, suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. He got that. He understood that comfort doesn't produce legends. Sacrifice, grinding, and pushing through that dark place, that's where greatness is made. Or think about Michael Jordan, the GOAT. We all know how many times he failed. He didn't make his high school basketball team. He got cut. Most people would have hung their heads and said, I guess I'm not good enough. They'd go back to their comfort zone, find something easier. But not MJ. He said, you think I'm done? You think I'm not enough? And then he outworked everyone, put himself through levels of hell that most of us can't even imagine. He understood that the agony of that rejection was fuel. He needed to experience failure to find what he was truly made of. And he went beyond what was possible because of that suffering, not in spite of it. Let me break this down for you. Every time you choose comfort, you choose mediocrity. You choose to stay exactly where you are. You get up in the morning and you hit the snooze button, don't you? You roll over, take that extra 5 minutes of sleep, and pretend you're recharging. But what are you really doing? You're killing yourself. You're killing your drive, your ambition, your discipline. You're telling yourself that being comfortable for 5 extra minutes is worth more than being great. Guess what? It's not. The worst part, you don't even realize it. You're so blinded by that immediate gratification, you forget what's at stake. You keep pushing your goals aside, telling yourself that tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is just another day of doing the same shit over and over again, expecting different results. That's insanity. You need to wake the fuck up. Comfort is a slow death. It's not like a car wreck that happens in a split second. Number comfort is a slow burn. It's a poison you drink every day. And the worst part, you don't even know you're dying until it's too late. You get a little fatter, a little slower, a little more lazy. Every time you choose comfort, you're one step closer to being a nobody. And trust me, nobody wants to be a nobody. I've been there. I've been in that dark place where I let comfort take over. It's easy. You're not pushing yourself. You're not struggling. But guess what? You're also not growing. You're stuck. You're standing still, watching the world pass you by, and you're too afraid to get uncomfortable. I'm telling you right now, it's not just a feeling. It's a fact. If you aren't uncomfortable, you aren't growing. Period. You can't expect to get stronger without putting in the work. You can't expect to be successful by sitting on your ass, watching Netflix, and taking it easy. Success is earned through pain, through discomfort, through doing things you don't want to do. The only way you get better is by pushing yourself through the shit, through the hard times, when everything in your body is telling you to stop. Comfort. It's a word that most people love to hear. It's that sweet, warm feeling we all chase. But here's the truth. Comfort is a bitch. And I'm going to tell you straight up, it is the silent killer that's stopping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. You want success. You want to reach the next level. Then you need to understand that comfort is your enemy. It keeps you weak. It keeps you stuck in place. It holds you back like an anchor dragging you to the bottom of the ocean.